What's up, guys? It's your boy ChronicTurbo with ChronicTurbo Reviews. Here we have a 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. This is the fully redesigned Sentra. As you can see, a very striking vehicle. I'm going to do a review on this one today, so stay tuned to the video. We're going to talk about all the features and the new things that you get with this new Nissan Sentra. I do have the key. I'm getting ready to take it to my filming spot, take it right outside the dealership. And shout out to Zach. If you're interested in this particular car, go ahead and head over to Hill Nissan. Talk to Zach, tell him ChronicTurbo sent you, and there are some special incentives that you get with telling him that I sent you. All right, let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's get into this 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. As you can see right here, you do have LEDs, headlights, and you do have LED turn signals, daytime running lamps. You have gloss black across the front grille. It gives a very sporty design. Let me go ahead and back up so you can get a good look at it. And by the way, we're at Hill Nissan. I do have their information posted inside the vehicle, and I do have access to their website. Come check them out. Let them know ChronicTurbo sent you so you can get some added discounts and incentives. Here's your SR badging right here as well. And then on the side, you do have these gloss black 18-inch wheels. They are aluminum. Very nice, very cool to look at. Let's step back and give you a good look at the side profile of the vehicle. We have an all black roof. Does make it nice and sporty. You do have this chrome trim going across the side as well. Actually, I would say silver because it's not really shiny like chrome. You have to see it in person. It's more like a satin silver. And of course, you have flat black on the actual door panels itself. Same thing right here. Bada bing, bada boom. I mean, pillars, not door panels. Body color on the door handles, and you do have keyless entry and push button start and remote start. So the car is pretty much fully packed. I mean, it's a top tier trim of the Nissan Sentra, and it's fully redesigned from the ground up. I mean, if you look at the vehicle interior wise and exterior wise, you think you're looking at something that's pretty sporty, pretty fast. It's not fast, but it handles itself pretty well. It's pretty much the same standard powertrain, but it's a really nice car. Let me go ahead and show you that this has a nice spoiler on the back, nice little kick up. It is in gloss black as well. Full LEDs on the tail lamps, and you do have your nice SR badging right there going all the way across for your tail lamps. They don't light up the middle, but they almost reach the middle entirely. So that actually is really cool. Nissan logo. It doesn't illuminate. Even though it gives that vibe, it's just a white trim around the Nissan logo, but it does not light up. You do have a singular tip exhaust, but it's a pretty big exhaust. And I'll go ahead and insert a sound clip so you can hear how that sounds. All right, you guys hear how it sounds upon startup and, revving it for a little bit. But of course, you have a gloss black splitter on the back as well. It's a bit aggressive, to add more to that SR flair that you have with this vehicle. There's no performance upgrades, but it is a sportier look. And it stands, it sits a little bit lower. But of course, you have your gloss black side skirts as well. Not sure how that will hold up to rock chips, but it looks damn good when it's new. You can always get PPF to protect that, make sure your detailers are taking good care of your car. And we're going to get into the dimensions of the vehicle, and I'm going to talk about how wide it is, how long it is, so on and so forth. But overall length, we're looking at 183.3 inches. Width is 71.5. Wheelbase is 106.5, and height is 57.1 inches. It's a pretty decently sized car. It is what you would call a compact sedan. It's not a mid-size, but as we all know, compact sedans are getting larger. The Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla, list goes on and on. The Mazda 3, which I think is on the smaller side when it comes to the compact sedans. But the Nissan Sentra is actually a pretty good sized vehicle, and we'll talk more about that when I get on the interior. But let's go ahead and pop the trunk and talk the trunk space. So of course, you just reach under here, Pops right up. Let me give it a little bit of help. Plenty of space in here. In total, you have about, I would like to say 14.3. Yeah, 14.3 cubic feet of space inside this trunk. You do have a cargo net to keep things nice and secure. Really good load height. The trunk is pretty deep and it does have a nice floor to it. You don't have these huge cutouts on the side to take away trunk space from you, but it is narrow towards the end. You can fold the seats down. It is a 60-40 split to help you out a little bit more. You just put on these latches right here and the seats fold right down. I'm not going to do it. You guys know how to work a trunk. Like I said, I don't include unnecessary things in my reviews. Most of you guys have probably bought a car before, and if you haven't, it's pretty self-explanatory. But let's go ahead and take a look under this floor, see what we got under there. Nothing much. You got to fix a flat kit. As in typical fashion with a lot of vehicles, most vehicles don't come with spare tires anymore. That's usually an added option, but they don't come standard with that anymore. But let's go ahead and pop the hood, and we're going to talk the specs for the engine. Even though I know this is not a race car, I know you still want to know at least what you're getting yourself into. So let's go up there. All right, here we are with that 2-liter direct injection inline 4-cylinder engine. Yes, it is an inline 4-cylinder, 149 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque. CVT transmission. That's about the only gripe I have is the CVT, but Nissan has definitely made some improvements. I personally own a Nissan Rogue. Well, my wife actually does. I bought it for her, but no issues with the car's transmission whatsoever, and there's well over 100,000 miles on the vehicle. Granted, it's about 10 years old at this point, but I haven't had any issues with the car. So it all depends on ownership and how you take care of the car. Sure, people have horror stories, but when you think about it, for every 100,000 units sold, if you have a few that's going to be bad, that's actually pretty normal if you think about it. And that's pretty much with any manufacturer. Some less than others, some more than others. It's just take it with a grain of salt whenever you buy a vehicle. I think this one is good. Everybody I know that has owned a Sentra hasn't had any issues, but you may have a different experience with that, and that's fine. This vehicle may not be for you, but if it is, go ahead and come down here to Hill Nissan, and they'll go ahead and get you situated. But that's enough for the engine bay. It is nice and clean. I know it looks like a jumbling, mess, but if you're not a mechanic, you don't really know what you're looking at anyway. You shouldn't really be up here. So let's go ahead and head to the inside of the vehicle. We're going to talk about the cargo space, not the cargo space, the leg room and head room, so on and so forth, and materials. And of course, I want to mention that this is the two-tone color right here. You have the gray with the gloss black roof. That is an option. Is premium option. It's $950, as you can see right here on the window sticker. And of course, the 18-inch alloy wheels, $610. The floor mat package, $290. So there are some options, bringing it up to a total of $28,725. I would say out the door, you'll probably be looking at $31,000, and that's not including incentives or anything like that. You could get discounted off the vehicle. Like I said, you tell them ChronicTurbo Reviews sent you, you might get a little bit more off the vehicle to help you out. And that's just my gift to you and their gift to me for, showing some love to Nissan and being a partner. I will be partnering with this dealership. We'll be doing more in the future. Hopefully we get one of those Nismo Zs in, and I'll be able to get a review for that for you in the manual. So stay tuned for that. That'll actually be pretty cool when that arrives. I already talked to the manager about it, so that'll be pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and get inside the rear seat of the vehicle, and we're going to talk about the space, legroom, so on and so forth. All right, we're inside the rear leg room. I'm comfortable, and the seat is really soft in the back. So even if you press against it, it is extremely comfortable. Nissan with those zero gravity seats, they are absolutely amazing. Like I said, I own a Nissan Rogue, and I can sit in that thing all day. Nissan has been a big part of my family. Pathfinders, Rogues, Altimas, Sentras, not so much Altimas. I don't think I had a family member that ever owned an Altima. But pretty much every other Nissan, we have owned it. My grandmother has 3 Nissans. She has a Murano, a new Murano actually, and she does have a Sentra, and she has a Titan. So we love Nissan in my family, and I want to see this company do very well. Door panels, it's all hard touch. which is okay at this price point. You know, I'm not going to bag on it or anything like that. So what do you really expect? A lot of vehicles do come with hard touch plastics. Even at, you know, luxury vehicles that cost $60,000, $70 does have hard touch plastics. So what can you really say for sub 30, which is basically the starting price of almost any vehicle that's in the economy class nowadays? $30,000 is about what you'll pay for any low end tier vehicle. And you're getting a lot for your money. You do have this dual color. I believe it's like an orange. You know, I'm a little bit colorblind. It's orange. It may be red to some, but it does have nice stitching going throughout. It is very comfortable. Like I said, it is cloth. Not a ton going on back here. You do have incandescent lights. It's not LEDs, which is okay. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker. You do have a Type-C port. No vents back here, so I am blazing hot. And granted, the vehicle's not on, so what do I expect? It's Florida. I'm going to melt no matter what. As for center space, you fold this down, you do get two decent sized cup holders. Armrest is pretty soft, as expected from a cloth armrest with the same materials as the seats. I mean, I'm comfortable back here. Headroom, I got a decent amount, even with the slope roof design. It is a very sporty design, but I still have good headroom at 6'1". I'm a pretty big and hefty guy. But that's enough for back here. Let's go ahead and hop up front. We're going to talk about more of the features that you have in this vehicle. We'll talk about that big, beautiful screen, because there's a lot of new things, as you can see from right here. Steering wheel is new. Screen is new. Pretty much everything is new. This does not feel like a Sentra at all. All right, we are up front in this 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. I'm going to go ahead and get the vehicle started. It is absolutely blazing out here, and I'm burning up. I'm a bit out of breath because of it, because, you know, when it's hot, it's like it's less oxygen in the air. And there's a science to that, but I'm not going to explain that. This is not school or anything. We're here to talk about the car. But let's go ahead and press this. Boy, I am cooking. Oh, I am cooking. Oh, man, the AC feels nice and amazing. You know, the vents do have some nice throw. It smells amazing in here. Like I say, a brand new vehicle. So, you know, new car smell. It's only 10 miles on the car. As with most vehicles, you know, those are test miles that you have. Rear view mirror, it is manually dimming, but it's a good size. I can't talk about clarity because it's not digital or anything like that, but it's nice to have a rear view mirror. I mean, you always have one, right? Have a sunglass holder in here as well. And I know some of you will say, oh, that's typical. No, it's not. I just recently did a review on a vehicle. You'll see it posted on my channel. It had a fake sunglass holder. I don't know why, but it had a fake sunglass holder. That's the first time I've ever seen a vehicle have a sunglass holder and it was not real. Like, what was the point of that? But you do have some more of this red and white stitching going across the front. It is like a soft touch injected molded plastic up here. You do have hard touch on the speakers. You do have a 6-speaker system in here, by the way. Sounds pretty decent. You know, typical Nissan speakers, as you would expect. Of course, this steering wheel wrapped in leather with the red stitching, it feels absolutely incredible. Feels really good in your hands. Have a decent amount of bolsters. I do love this design. You know, there's not a lot of spokes. It's just center. Nissan logo. You have your cruise control settings on this side. You have your voice control settings on this side with your radio controls. You know, your follow distance adjuster for your adaptive cruise control. This car is feature packed, man. Like, you have pretty much everything you could possibly want in the car. You know, you got the LED headlights, tail lights, you know, the V-Motion grille in dark chrome. You got 18-inch alloy wheels in black. It is just nice all around. 12.3-inch display, dual 12.3-inch displays, actually. It is one continuous panel, but they are two different displays inside one panel. Very nice clarity, very nice quality. I go ahead and click OK right here. Pretty snappy. Miles better than the previous Sentra's system. As you guys know how that was. It was like an 8 or 9-inch display. This feels like a totally different car. Even when you see it, it's something that's good to look at. Every time I see one, I'm always happy to see it. It looks very fast, even though it's not fast, but it gets out of its own way. It's a Sentra. It's meant to be economical. As you know, you get 29 in the city, 36 on the highway, 32 combined MPG, and it's not a hybrid, so that's actually really impressive. Those numbers are really good. And for this price, you're getting a lot of car. Of course, you have a wireless charger pad, which is awesome. I mean, most vehicles are coming in with that nowadays, but a lot of times you have to step up to a much higher price point to get that. So it is nice to have that on this Sentra for under $30,000. Decent sized cup holders as well. Go ahead and open up the armrest. Deep storage. I'm talking about deep. You could put one of those quarter gallon or half gallon water bottles that you could buy. You know, those aluminum water bottles that keep your water cold all day. You could put it in there. You could actually fit that thing. And we're gonna go to the glove box. It's not lined with felt, but it is pretty large, and it's not damp. I'm gonna be completely honest. You see how it just falls open like that? Let me stop doing that. But that's fine. It's because there's heavy items in there. You know, you do have your owner's manual and some nice stuff that come when you buy the vehicle brand new. You know, like wheel locks, so on and so forth. Because these rims are nice. You don't want anybody to steal your rims. Trust me. I lived in some crazy places. I live in a nice neighborhood now, but people do some wild-ish when you're not in a nice area. I'm just saying. But volume knob is right here. This is how you control the volume for your system. 12.3-inch display, like I already said. You do have touch controls for your AC. It is gloss black, so watch out for fingerprints. You can always get it cleaned. I mean, invest in a professional detailer anytime you buy a car, especially if you buy one that's nice like this. You want to keep it clean. You want to keep it smelling fresh. I know a lot of my audience does Uber and so on and so forth, and this is like the perfect vehicle to do Uber in. You could get your tips. You could do your rides. You could save gas, especially with the price of gas nowadays. So this is an absolute perfect vehicle for doing Uber and going around town and looking good. You know, if you want to have date night with your lady or your husband or, you know, your dog, I won't judge you. This is the perfect car. Here's your shifter right here. Traditional shifter. You just press this knob, slide it back and forward. Electronic parking brake with auto hold. You have your auto on and off feature for that engine start. You know, when you're sitting at a stoplight and the engine cuts off, you have that button to control that. This is your drive mode selector right here. You just flick it. You got standard, sport, and eco. Right now we're in sport. Doesn't really do much. You know, it just makes the tuning a little bit more aggressive. You know, your sharpness, your throttle response. It holds the RPMs a little bit higher for sport mode. Typical sport mode on any economy class vehicle. No sunroof in here. You do have a beige headliner. I'm not going to knock the vehicle for having it at this price point because, to be completely honest, it's not a luxury vehicle. It's an economy class car. It looks great. And I think it does what it has to do very well, if you ask me. It does it really, really well. And of course, that's pretty much it for this video. You guys were absolutely amazing. Also, you have wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, you know, Siri, Google Assistant, the whole 9 yards. I'm happy with this vehicle. 2 USB Type-Cs, 12-volt outlet. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.